Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
This is the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition, to fly helicopters for the army. After 2.5 months, the members of Course 354 have completed the first phase of their training. They've been learning basic airmanship skills on fixed-wing planes, but they're now eager to start flying helicopters. Showing off its hardware. 40 helicopters in tight formation flown by their best pilots. It takes years of experience to fly like this. For the trainees on Pilots Course 354, this is still a dream. They haven't even set foot inside a helicopter, nor will they until they pass one more hurdle. A week of survival training. Essential safety drill for all would-be helicopter pilots. The week starts at the Navy's Underwater Escape Unit, more commonly known as the Dunker. The Dunker simulates a helicopter crash in water. It teaches people how to escape from a sinking aircraft. No one on Course 354 will be allowed to fly a helicopter until they've passed this training. Corporal Marcus Locke is dreading this moment. He's the weakest swimmer on the course.
A step forward in your own mind, if you admit you're worried about doing something. I definitely was worried about doing the Dunker. I mean, the water's coming up towards us, so I have a deep breath. I'm now under the water. Oh God, I can't see anything. Do I get out now? Yes. Get me out. How do I get back? Alright? Yeah.
The trainees have to practice several types of escape with the lights on and off. On the second run, the lights stay on, but the Dunker spins over as if the helicopter has capsized.
The next one, I started to undo my clasp as they started turning it, and that's when panic started setting. God, I'm stuck. I'm going to drown here. Oh, well, good way of ending the pilot's course. Ah, Corporal Locke drowned in the swimming pool. Wonderful.
Marcus Locke has spent 9 years in the light infantry. He came on the course disillusioned with life as a foot soldier and keen to make a fresh start as an army pilot.
Is it a kind of step up the ladder to go from light infantry into the Air Corps?
Okay, let's look at it another way. I'm digging a trench, or I fly a helicopter. What's your answer to that one? I would say yes. Definitely.
Lights!
The thing is, I don't really want to be in the army unless I can do this now. I've done over 9 years now as an infantryman. It all gets on top of you after a while. I mean, all those little trenches you've got to dig all over the place. So I think I've had enough of that. I need to go out and do something. No, it's not. That sounds like this turned up, so I went for it. No, that's not quite right. Because I've been thinking about this for a few years. But fly helicopters, yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Back at Middle Wallop, the Army Air Corps is throwing a party. This is the most elaborate helicopter parade ever staged in Britain. Guest of honour is Prince Charles, their new Colonel-in-Chief. And in the audience are veteran pilots who flew in the Second World War. They're here to watch the unveiling of the Air Corps' new regimental flag, its guidon, awarded for achievements in battle during the Falklands and more recently the Gulf War.
We were formed in 1957 and it's been rather a fledgling organisation. We have a history that stretches back no more than 36 years. And therefore to be awarded a guidon, which we parade with and shall subsequently treasure, is a great honour, and I think together with having Prince Charles designated as our Colonel-in-Chief really does mean that the Corps has come of age. The guidon comes from an Italian term, guidoni, which was a banner that was carried by regiments into battle. And only those regiments that are engaged in direct fire, those that close with the enemy, are awarded standards, colours and guidons.
On the Air Corps! Load! Arms!
20,000 feet. Safety, roger, 20,000 feet.
Anybody want to change their minds?
For Course 354, Survival Week continues at the decompression chamber. Yesterday they were dropped underwater. Today they're climbing thousands of feet to simulate the effects of oxygen starvation.
Chamber stops, 25,000 feet.
Right, numbers 4 and 7, disconnect your oxygen, turn on your microphones. I'll turn them on for you. Can you hear me, number 4? Can you hear me?
Yep, got you now.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me, number 7?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Right, okay, take the blank in. Numbers 4 and 7 off oxygen. Okay, number 7, stand up and down 6 times. Up and down. How are you feeling, number 4?
Okay.
Good. Okay, that's good. Take a piece of paper in front of you, write down your name and address.
Please. Number 8, uncross your legs.
The rest of you just keep a close eye on their faces.
Lieutenant Jenny Firth is only the 4th woman ever to be selected for the pilot's course.
When I joined the Army, the Air Corps still weren't taking girls. That's something that only happened about 3 years ago. It just was a natural progression. The jobs that I've been doing so far have been very admin-based, and it was interesting to think that I could go into something that had a realer role in the Army.
Okay, that's good. When you've done that, hold out your hands in front of you, prop your wrists up, Right out in front of you. Nice and straight. A little bit of a fine tremor at the moment. Okay, so a little bit of blueness there. How are you feeling, number 4?
Okay, I got busy.
Okay. Carry on with your task. Carry on, number 7.
2 minutes 30.
2 minutes 30.
You'll be flying helicopters soon. How will you cope with extra pressure?
I don't know. Until I do it. I am worried about it. I'm just going to have to do as well as I can. Until I experience that pressure, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it.
Okay, remember the number 853.
2 minutes 30.
Okay, beginning to slow down a bit now, aren't we?
As the altitude increases, the air becomes thinner and the brain is starved of oxygen. Reactions slow down, sometimes with dramatic effect.
Well done. Take your piece of paper away. Okay, slow down a bit. Those of you who've got children know what to do with this. Take a ball each. The shapes go in the holes, put the shapes in the ball.
3 minutes.
How are you feeling, number 9? How are you feeling, number 9? Okay, put the shapes in the ball. Reconnect your oxygen, number 9. Reconnect your oxygen. Give him a hand, number 8, please.
Although he's still conscious, Corporal Harrison is unable to react to any of the officer's instructions.
Put the shapes in the ball, number 9. Number 9. Put the shapes in the ball. Okay, write down the number I told you to remember, both of you. How are you feeling, number 1?
Yeah, light-headed, bright colours, slightly blurred vision.
Okay, how's it feeling now, number 9? Where's it sore? Just over the eye?
It's over here.
Okay, how are your ears feeling? Very painful?
Yeah.
20,000 feet.
I remember the first part, up to a certain point. I think the second game of noughts and crosses I remember as far as, and nothing after that until I was back on the oxygen. I didn't even realise I'd been put back on oxygen. I just sort of carried on and thought I was doing fine.
You couldn't hear when the colonel told you to go back onto oxygen?
No, not at all. I didn't hear that at all. And when he said, write down that number I told you to remember, I thought he was bluffing, because I didn't hear a number at all.
Father Abraham.
Survival week ends in the English Channel. The trainees are about to jump into the sea, kitted out with a life jacket and personal life raft strapped to their backs.
Well, I don't know about you, I'm doing this for Maggie. Bring back Maggie. God, Queen and the Corps. The regiment.
Marcus Locke is the first to go.
Good luck, Marcus. Okay.
Having survived the Dunker, he now has to jump into the open sea. For such a weak swimmer, it's a frightening prospect.
Stand by. Jump. Stand by. Jump. Jump. Come on.
That was outstanding. You see that?
This exercise builds on the Dunker training. It's assumed that Marcus and the others have escaped from a helicopter crash. Now they have to get into their life rafts and wait to be rescued before hypothermia sets in.
Stand yourself there, you know.
I'll just fall off.
You'll get a standby and go if you don't.
And then a kick. Yeah, right.
Okay, water up. Okay. Go! Go!
You can't really simulate the real thing when you know that you can see the boat 200 metres away. You can't experience, I imagine, possibly the despair you might experience if it really happened and if you didn't know if anybody knew where you were or if they were coming to get you. But the actual part that we were practicing was very real. It was getting the raft inflated, it was bailing all the water out and so on. And obviously that was, we did it. It was very real.
After bobbing up and down for half an hour in heavy seas, the trainees are brought back to the main launch, cold and wet.
Okay. Right. Get an equipment at a time. Watch your hands if it go. Just one at a time. Ready? Get the bottles off. Watch your hands and feet as you go. Another glorious day. Just take people with the hands and feet as you go.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, ferryboat people.
Yeah. Looking very about in here.
Hey!
One more.
Were you worried out there, Marcus?
No, it's alright actually. I mean, I started feeling a bit queasy when I got that little boat, so I was getting bounced all over the place, but when we were out there it was okay. I was trying to get all that water out. I've never seen so much water in my little thing all my life. It was everywhere. My arms were knackered trying to squeeze it down that little tube.
Yeah, it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah. So in the end I got that little sponge out and I was trying to squeeze it outside to get blown back in again.
Yeah.
So I got wet arse.
Quite cramped in there, aren't you?
Sorry?
Quite cramped in there.
Yeah. That's good though.
I was looking for the drinks cabinet, but I couldn't quite find it.
I kept thinking, well, I've got to think of something else apart from being seasick, because otherwise I'll be seasick. So, you know, looking at the occasional seagull going by and trying to see the other people and just do anything to avoid thinking of the fact that you're stuck in the middle of a bit of water going up and down about 10 foot a minute.
Did anyone throw up?
Yeah.
I think Mickey,
close calls, I tell you.
How you feeling,
serious
Mickey?
lumps down the front of that.
How you feeling?
never want to see another boat as long as I live. I wanted to be in a boat and I joined the Navy.
You didn't join the army for this?
Ah, it's alright. It's got to be done. Thank God it's over.
Survival week is over, and the trainees have returned to Middle Wallop. Tonight there's a chance to relax, but tomorrow they begin the next phase of their training, basic rotary. At last, they'll be flying helicopters.
Staying in, doing lots of work.
Looking forward to flying?
Very much so now. As they said at the beginning of the course, I know it's sad, as a commandant said, sitting there looking out the window and watching helicopters. But I noticed that today, again in the navigation classroom, because that's next to the Gazelle hangar. And you couldn't help but turn your head a couple of times when a Gazelle came into land. Especially with the fog coming in, it looked quite good. So, very much looking forward to it.
You'll be up there soon?
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, good afternoon, 354 course, and welcome to Basic Rotary Wing. My name is Bob Weston, and I'm in charge of this phase of the course. You've joined to be a helicopter pilot, and here we are, at last you've reached this phase. This afternoon, you get your first chance of getting your hands on a helicopter, where we're going to do a familiar flight with your instructors. You will always remember this period of your training and your instructor who taught you. It's a very intense, very clear period in your flying career.
Pedals are neutral, cyclic is central, lever down, friction is on. Here, have a good look around, we'll clear left, clear on the right. Nobody taxiing in front of us or close to us. Give him the wind up. Rotor brake goes off. Now we just wind the rotors up.
Course 354 will be learning to fly Gazelles, the Army's smallest and sleekest helicopter. They're unarmed, but because they're so maneuverable, they're ideal for reconnaissance and observation.
Feel me pushing in right pedal as I raise the lever. Brake round. There, quite a lot of right pedal. We just sit into the hover attitude. There we are.
The first flight is flown by the instructor. For Jenny, it's a chance to sit back and watch while he takes the Gazelle through its paces.
There on the left. And away we go. You can follow me through lightly if you wish to. And we'll go on.
Obviously, this is what you're coming on the course to learn to fly the Gazelle. We've been doing the Chipmunk, which is getting you airworthy, I suppose. But now this is it, learning to fly the helicopters. Everybody's probably had those dreams where they're flying 4 or 5 meters above the surface or swimming through the air or something like that. And you have that feeling of perhaps freedom and exhilaration. That's the closest you can come to explaining it, I think. It's just tremendous fun being able to fly along and then suddenly stop and have a look around without having to land, or to be able to climb up a bit higher and look a bit further afield and so on. And it's fascinating, the fact that it's up there and that it stays up there and it does what you tell it to do. Hopefully. The Chipmunk phase was fun for me because I'd done it before, and it was a bit of revision and getting a bit better and what have you. But here I'm right down at the bottom of the ladder, kind of feeling fairly jealous of those that have had a bit of experience and finding it a lot easier to do. But you know, it's going to be hard work, but I think it'll be good fun whilst we're doing it.
First hurdle?
First hurdle is probably being able to cope with more than one control at a time, actually. We'll see.
The demonstration ride is over. Now the hard work begins. Flying a helicopter involves the coordination of 3 main controls. Marcus Locke is finding out how each of them works.
Right, let's start off with the pedals. Right. If I press the right pedal, the aircraft yaws to the right. If I press the right, it turns to the right. If I press the left pedal, the aircraft turns to the left. That's it, yep. Right. And back to the centre again. Into wind. Right, the lever. Lever's controlling the torque, which is controlling the height. Now if I bring in the lever, the aircraft is going to rise. And if I lower the lever, the aircraft is going to sink. Now you'll notice when it sinks, it yaws around to the right. And when I bring in the power, it yaws around to the left. Okay, so there's an interreaction between the lever and the pedals. Right, now we come to the front bit. The cyclic. Yes, right, the cyclic controls the attitude. And if I move the cyclic forward, then the nose is going to go down, the aircraft's going to move forward. Is that all right? Yeah. If I bring the cyclic back, and the nose is going to rise, and the aircraft's going to start moving backwards. So basically it's a question of cancelling out any aircraft movement with a series of pressures, not controlled movements, with a series of pressures. Yeah. Right, well there you go then. You have control. I have control, sir. There, you have the cycling now, I have the pedals and the lever. Okay, so I'm going to hold the heading and the height, and you are going to hold the attitude. You have the cycling. Okay, sir? That's good, that's quite good. I can't see any sweat yet, but I think you're working harder. Certainly am, sir. Okay, 238, ready to check. 238,
It's a totally different experience from anything you've ever done in your life. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant fun. I mean, I've been to the back so many times, sort of with enemy units, back in battalion and whatnot in Ireland. So I've always enjoyed being in helicopters, but then again, it's not really my job, so you never really get much of a chance. But as soon as you actually get in front of this, you realise how low you are to the ground, how clear and how much you can actually see. It's really, really good fun. Brilliant.
An Apache helicopter is visiting Middle Wallop from an American base in Germany. For Andy James, it's a chance to glimpse the ultimate prize.
This is great. This thing's sick. You could pull some real chicks in one of these, couldn't you? You could. You just down at the pub. Hey, babe, come on, let's up my chopper.
The Army Air Corps is currently buying its own fleet of attack helicopters, chosen from 6 different designs. Whichever they buy, Andy hopes that one day he'll be groomed to fly machines like this.
What do you think
of this? Sex. Got to be careful what I say, but I'll tell you what, I haven't seen so many bloody buttons and dials and things to press in a helicopter, have I? Oh God, I'd love to have one of these. Excellent. Come on, do you have control? Take over, pilot.
Where's the starter button?
Who's got the key and the choke?
There's nowhere to put your beer. You can't put your beer anywhere.
So at this stage, the trainees are on a high. They're feeling very excited. They've arrived on helicopters and flying it for the first time. In our experience, this elation is followed by a bit of a dip when they realise how difficult it is and how little time there is to do it. Very shortly, they'll start having furrowed brows, they'll start feeling more serious about it as they start having to reproduce what their instructor has shown them.
The pressure is already on for Course 354. Having only just started on helicopters, they're expected to go solo within the first 11 flying hours. It's a daunting prospect.